Hello, Brian Shillibeer from ThisWeekinFM at EMIX London with Keith Pedder of Bouygues Energy Services. Keith, performance contracting, explain a little bit more in detail.
Performance contracting covers a whole host of propositions, a whole host of opportunities for customers. It looks essentially at identifying projects that reduce energy. The reduction in energy finances the investment of those projects. And I've been doing it for over 20 years. And the customers that I talk at are typically customers with energy bills between £500 and £1 million and above. And we look at how we go into places like the NHS, how we look at industry, breweries, how we look at commercial stock, and how we would go in and help them reduce their problems. And they have a number of problems. They have increasing energy costs, they have legislation, and in terms of the commercial stock, legislation stopping some of these customers selling their buildings or leasing their buildings. F-rated, what I call toxic stock, is preventing chief execs from getting and selling their buildings. So real stuff. So you've got an energy increase, you've got legislation, you've got brand impact, big issue. And you've got energy security now. So these customers have got a really big problem and they haven't got the cash and they haven't got the technicals necessarily to solve them. That's where energy performance contracting comes in, and that's where we take our solution to the customer to take the investment, provide the solution and guarantee those savings. Over the last 5-6 years, the UK market, I was practicing in the US and Canada, the UK market has now rocketed. What we've got is a ton of funds. We've got Salix, we've got SDCL, we've got Equitex, Green Investment Bank. There's a whole ton of money that needs to get into a whole ton of customer problems. So they've got all this asset problem, they've got NHS have got a backlog asset problem of around 25 million per site. And when you think the NHS consumes 3% of the UK's energy, you can see why they've got a challenge. So you've got all of these problems, all of that money, and what Bouygues do is very beautifully join it up. We do the development, we execute the works, we do the surveys, we then, having delivered the surveys, we find some nice money for them, not our money, we help them with their money, we find the money, we then execute the delivery of those savings, and the savings fund the asset upgrade. So you could look at it as an asset upgrade, not an energy performance contract. So if you're in a position where you've got bad assets, we can fund those assets through an energy solution, guaranteed. So at no time will you ever find yourself in debt for an energy performance contract. We will guarantee that if you borrow 5 million and the energy savings don't connect to that loan, we will make the top up and improve the situation. You will always be upside. And in some customers, where they've got a backlog maintenance problem and a problem with debt ratios, at this point in time, we're offering service contracts that help them through that difficulty. School academies are a very good example of that. They can't draw money, they have to get a Secretary of State signature. We go into that space and we execute performance contracts and in an off-balance funding way.
And I suppose that's where energy-focused maintenance really comes into play.
Absolutely, Brian. So where we get high-performance energy solutions, you've got the energy performance contracting space, which smashes in the energy savings. And then we get energy-focused maintenance, where we look at how we deliver the energy maintenance through our subcontractors, our supply chain, how we rewire the way they do things. So how we look at, we E-code, for example, through Maximo, we E-code our high energy assets. And then we link up the BMS through target energy performance, then it gets back to the blue collar worker instantly. So you're not waiting a month to find out whether or not you've had a bad energy day, you're actually getting it bang straight away. So energy performance contracting plus energy focused maintenance, reconfiguring the commercials, driving subcontractors towards energy reduction, driving blue collar workforce towards behaviours. What we find is when you join them together, you get the stuff that comes out from the performance contracts, all that information. We take that information, we give it to the folks, the blue collar workforce, they touch it, feel it, then they can own it. And then you get this competition, you get all of that stuff. It just is a very beautiful space.